Hey YouTube, it's your boy Mizuki back with another video, and in today's video I'm making yet another Peroxide video, but today's topic is going to be a new one, and I'm just going to be discussing the races of Peroxide and why they're the best, and basically the pros and cons of every race: Fullbringer, Arrancar, Soul Reaper, and Quincy. Obviously by the end of today's video I will have listed all the pros and cons, and we'll be doing more or less a pick of which race is the best and which you guys should pursue. But anyways, without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Now right off the bat, the award for the dukiest race of the four has gotta go to the Fullbringer race. I mean, the Fullbringer race has so many cons. One, the progression is absolutely horrendous. And what I mean by that is, for half of the small progression, you go around the cities collecting garbage or whatever and talking to NPCs. I mean, there's literally no combat, none of that. You don't even get to see no Soul Reaper or Hollow. You're basically just blind. Two, as a human Fullbringer, since you ain't dead, you can only get up to level 51, which is inconvenient because obviously there's players out there who want to progress further than only level 51. 3, as a Fullbringer human, you can only do raids in Hueco Mundo. The rest of the spots are off limits. 4, you get murked by hollows you can't even see early on in the progression. 5, certain character stats that the Fullbringer holds are limited. The only really cool thing about Fullbringer is no one else is really used to your fighting style since there are so little of you, but everything else is just a living and breathing con. Also, there's like an extra thing that Fullbringer's got, and that's like a green flash step, but are you really gonna waste your nerfs for that? Now, the award for the strongest race, and if y'all want the strongest race, I definitely recommend you go for Soul Reaper. The only downside though is, compared to some other races, this progression is very long and difficult. As to obviously get maximum strength, you must go through and receive a lot of different things before you actually get to experience the full potential. And unless you're going for Visor, I don't necessarily recommend it, as it can be very difficult and time consuming, and the grind is just repetitive as compared to the other two paths. Now obviously some of y'all might be saying, Mizuki, hollow progression, hello? It's pretty difficult. Well, yeah, it is, but you gotta remember, compared to Soul Reaper, hollow progression is very straight to the point and understandable, unless you're going for Visor or Vaster Rage. The entire Soul Reaper grind is stupid though, since Soul Reaper in general is pretty weak race compared to the other two. So again, unless you're going for the Visor and Vaster Rage, it's not really the best path since it's just so time consuming. The race in general is also RNG based, so it's just a lot of luck and chance, and just a crap ton of grinding, which I know a lot of you don't have time for. But yeah, I mean, if you're really willing to commit for this and are going for the Visor to Vaster Age, definitely go for Soul Reaper. But if we're looking at the exact polar opposite of the Soul Reaper progression, and if you want to have fun with the progression and you just want to get power and just maximum strength in a very simple way, I definitely recommend y'all go for Quincy, since with comparison to Soul Reaper and Arrancar, you don't gotta go through the extra things, and after you receive your Volt Standing and Cybernetics from the drop, that's it. It's a very simple and a fun race, since getting strong is possible basically momentarily. So now, I mean, if you're looking for a very long progression, very powerful race, then the Hollow progression is the right one for you. Hollow progression has got to be the most fun progression in the game at the moment, as it is the most legit one and is the most straight to the point progression, since compared to Soul Reaper progression, where it's RNG and chance based, and the basic and fast Quincy progression, Hollow progression is straight to the point, it's understandable, fun, and long, filled with many satisfying moments as you go about evolving. Also, Hollows, in my opinion, got the dopest drip and got their own mini world, as do Soul Reapers, but obviously Hueco Mundo is the best compared to the Quincy's, World's a World. Now, to sum things up, though there isn't a way to necessarily describe or choose the best race, as each one has a pro and a con, but to put things in very simple terms, it's pretty evident that Soul Reaper's got the hardest and longest progression, but the outcome is it's the strongest race, so you get what you put in, basically. Quincy's are the easiest and the most simple progression, as it doesn't have that many loopholes, and the golden center of the two, as well as the most fun progression in my opinion, is definitely Hollow. Now, the race I can officially say is the worst does gotta be Fullbringer, although I do have respect for all y'all Fullbringers. Because y'all forgot potential. I mean, not potential, patience. I'm sorry, this is just so funny. But aside from that, it's just a time consumer, and you don't really get anything crazy out of it. But yeah, out of the four, I'd personally definitely go for hollow progression, but it really comes down to personal preference. Now, anyways, aside from that, I hope this video explained to y'all each of the different races, each of the four races, and how each of these races is unique in their own way. Obviously, at the end of the day, it genuinely comes down to personal preference, as obviously some of the races could be the strongest, some could be the fastest, some could be just the cherry on top and the golden center, and some could just really be bad. Anyways, aside from that, like, sub, and all the proper things, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.